Hello and welcome to Miss Yusuf's English class. In this video, we are going to study an African elegy by Okri. Before we get into the poem, however, let's get some background notes on the poet. Okri was born in a small town in Nigeria in 1959. He studied in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom and has worked for the BBC as well as being a poetry editor and a poet. His short story collection, Incidents at the Shrine, was awarded the Commonwealth Writers' Prize for Africa, and his third novel, called The Famished Road, won the Booker Prize for Africa, which is the United Kingdom's top award for fiction. Much of his work looks at the relationship between African mysticism and modern Western culture. Right, let's read An African Elegy by Okri. We are the miracles that God made to taste the bitter fruit of time. We are precious, and one day our suffering will turn into the wonders of the earth. There are things that burn me now which turn golden when I am happy. Do you see the mystery of our pain? That we bear poverty and are able to sing and dream sweet things, and that we never curse the air when it is warm, or the fruit when it tastes so good, or the light that bounces gently on the waters. We bless things even in our pain. We bless them in silence. That is why our music is so sweet. It makes the air remember. There are secret miracles at work that only time will bring forth. I too have heard the dead singing, and they tell me that this life is good. They tell me to live it gently, with fire, and always with hope. There is wonder here, and there is surprise. In everything the unseen moves. The ocean is full of songs. The sky is not an enemy. Destiny is our friend. Okay, let's go and analyze the poem section by section. We are the miracles that God made to taste the bitter fruit of time. We are precious. Right, here we're talking about human life, right? The miracle of human life. The very conception of human life is so miraculous. The very delivery of human life is so miraculous. The idea of waking up every morning with limbs and with a heartbeat and with a mind and with a brain and with choice and with purpose is a miracle, right? But the thing about human life is that it must always taste the bitter fruit of time, the aging process, and eventually death, right? So no matter who you are, you will be born, you will live, and you will die. Whatever time frame it happens in, that is a very personal thing. That's a very intimate thing. However, as long as we live, we must always be conscious of the fact that we're going to get old, maybe, but we are definitely all going to die. But that's what makes life even more miraculous. Every day that we have, every minute that we have, is a miracle, and it's something we should not take for granted, because when the time comes for us to leave it all behind, it is not a sweet fruit, as the speaker tells us in line 2. It's a very bitter fruit to eat. It's a very bitter fruit to taste, that time and that death. And if we live till an old age, we have to suffer from all the associated weaknesses and sickness and all of those things that accompany that, right? So while life is miraculous, all life must also come to an end, right? And that's what makes it so precious, and that is why the speaker tells us we are precious, not to take it for granted, right? And one day our suffering will turn into the wonders of the earth, right? Here is what we leave behind, our legacy, right? We are either going to do something positive in our lives, or we're going to do something negative. It doesn't matter whether it's a big thing, a huge history-making thing, or whether it's just to live a simple life and to let those around us know that we love them, and that's enough. Either way, whether we are destined for big things and great things, or whether we are just meant to live simple, humble lives, our legacy, what we leave behind, the mark we leave on the earth, that is what makes it so wonderful. And whatever sacrifices we make, whatever suffering we go through, those stories, those memories, those sacrifices is going to be remembered as our generations and the future generations of our bloodline will remember us and hopefully acknowledge what suffering we went through, right? On the grander scheme of things, you're talking about the apartheid time, of course, and all of those who have passed on, who have given their lives and sacrificed, and now we could remember their story and listen to their story and teach their stories at schools. and erect monuments in their memory and acknowledge what they've done. But during their lifetime, they would have suffered. And now we can remember them. Right, there are things that burn me now which turn golden when I am happy. Right, so here is how memory, it comes back to us and it will fill us with that same feeling that we had when we were experiencing it. Right, but when you're older and you look back, although you think the same way and feel the same way, when you get through it, you could look back and you could, in hindsight, appreciate the lesson you learned or the way that you grew or what came out of that moment. Right, so again, on a very personal level, you could say that when somebody is going through something and later on when they are better, or when they've overcome that challenge or that test, that they could look back and say that made me a better person, that made me a stronger person, or that opened out the doors for me. And if you look at it on a larger scale in terms of apartheid, right, all of those people who were in prison, all of those people who lost their loved ones, all of those people who were tortured, and those who disappeared without any documentation, without any explanation, their people would obviously hurt still at the memory and the unanswered questions. But when justice comes, it is obviously something that can make us happy. Do you see the mystery of our pain? Right, mystery and pain. The speaker here is providing us with a paradox here. Right, a mystery generally associated with something positive, but pain is obviously negative. He's saying that, can you see how inexplicable this quality, this characteristic is, where even when we are poverty stricken, we can sing. Even when we are hungry, we can dream sweet things. Right, human nature, African nature, right, the personality of the innate quality of African people. You could be so hungry, so broken, unemployed, homeless, alone, isolated, suffering from the elements, but still be positive. Right, we could sing at a funeral through our pain. We can dream even though we are hungry, even though our family is suffering. Right, that is something unique to the African spirit. Right, and that we never curse the air when it is warm, or the fruit when it tastes so good, or the lights that bounce gently on the waters. Right, so we don't envy and we don't hate on things that have prosperity, fruit. Right, we don't say, how is it this fruit could be so happy and grow so luscious and juicy and be so healthy when we human beings are suffering. Right, lights that bounce gently on the water, that's freedom, that's beauty, that's more than we as people suffering under subjugation could experience. But we don't hate those things for their freedom, we don't hate those things for their health, we don't hate those things for their abundance. Okay, we are able to bless them. Why? Because what was meant for them goes to them, and what was meant for us comes to us. Right, we bless things even in our pain. Right, we are able to put aside our own personal feelings, and we are able to enjoy, congratulate, embrace others, embrace things despite our own feelings. Okay, there are many moments where a political prisoners, for example, would have gone home, right, while other people have unanswered questions about their loved ones. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? What have you done to him? But we could rejoice when our neighbors come home, because at least one of them came home. Right, that sacrifice, that Ubuntu mentality, that quality that's so innately African. Okay, where we don't look at our pain and impose it on others, or we don't envy others' success. We celebrate it because of Ubuntu, because my brother is happy. Right, we bless them in silence, and that is why our music is so sweet. It makes the air remember. Right, we have songs for everything. Right, we could sit together and we could make music and remember the times that passed, happy times or sad times. Right, and when we listen to this music, when we play this music, when we recite these poems, when we read these words, right, we bless things. We become happy with the memories, or we become sad with the memories. Either way, right, the memories are vivid, memories are clear. It reminds us of the sacrifice, it reminds us of our strength, it reminds us of our spirit, and how resilient it is, and how strong it is, and how powerful it is. Right, there are secret miracles at work that only time will bring forth. Here again, that theme of time. is reinforced from earlier. The image of the miracle and the image of the bitter fruit of time. Here you have something positive in time, right? We don't know all of the inner workings of destiny. Today we may be suffering, but tomorrow we may have a prosperity, right? Only time will bring it forth. Only the future has those answers. If our sacrifice today is going to be giving us some gift or reward tomorrow, right? Just like a baby, right? A mother that's pregnant. Only time will know whether that child is going to be born healthy and be positive. Okay, whether that child is going to be beautiful and strong, right? That is a secret miracle. And only time will develop it into what it's meant to be. And when it is born, then it starts the journey and becomes what it's meant to be. So in the same way, all life form, all life force, all nature has its own secret ways of working. We don't always have the reasons, we don't always have the answers, we don't always have a clear image of what's going to happen. The secret is to wait. The secret is patience. The secret is perseverance. The secret is to just do what you're doing until the day when you don't have to do it any longer, right? We just have to wait for destiny. We just have to wait for fate to tell us when it is enough. Right, I too have heard the dead singing, and they tell me this life is good. Right, so the dead have sung songs to me, and they tell me as long as I am alive, life is good. A life of suffering is better than to be dead. Right? So the ancestors have sent me messages when I was despairing, when I was in pain, when I was lost. They have sent me a message and they told me this life is good. They tell me to live life gently, live life with fire, live life always with hope. Right? Gentleness with other people and gentleness with ourselves. Fire, passion, faith. Okay? Drive, purpose, ambition. Right? But always with hope, right? No matter what suffering we're going through, be gentle, be faithful, be hopeful, okay? Don't despair, don't give in to pain, don't surrender to loss and grief, because as long as you are alive, there's always the potential for tomorrow, right? That is why it's significant that the dead are telling us this. Why? Because they can no longer wait for tomorrow. They can no longer live gently. They could no longer live with fire. They can no longer live hopefully. Okay, because their life is over. So whatever suffering we're feeling, they're saying it's better than being dead. Right, there is wonder here and there is surprise. In everything the unseen moves. Yeah, here again is a common theme here. That miracle. That very secret, inexplicable, behind the scenes movement of destiny. We don't know what the next move is. We don't know what the next day brings. We don't know what the next reward will be, right? And that's what makes life so beautiful, so precious, like in the first three lines, right? There is surprise and wonder. We can wonder, how is it that I was just that person before? How is it that I was suffering before? How is it that I thought I wasn't going to make it before, but here I am today? Right, the ocean is full of songs, the sky is not an enemy, and destiny is not our friend. Is our friend, sorry. Right, so here is the relationship that we have with nature. Right, if only we take a moment to listen and appreciate and embrace it. As African people, we have a very intimate relationship with nature. Okay, we're very connected with the earth, and we take comfort in the ocean and in the sky. We take a lot of our own support, a lot of our own inspiration, a lot of our own care and companionship from nature. Okay, therefore the ocean will sing to us. The sky will give us, it's not an enemy, it'll give us rain, it'll give us sunshine, it'll give us whatever we need to live as best we can. Okay, these things are not material things, but they are valuable because they cannot be counted or put a price on. Right, this is what nature gives us for free. And destiny is our friend, just like the ancestor told us. No matter how bad things are, you are alive. Wait for tomorrow. Wait for your fate to unfold. Wait for your destiny. Okay, if you are meant to die, you will die. But while you are alive, embrace your life, enjoy your life, live with gentleness, live with fire, and live with hope. Right, that brings us to the end of this poem, a very beautiful poem. It could have been very melancholy, but it's actually quite motivating and very, very beautiful and subtle in its message. Not aggressive and not very forceful. Right, all images credit to the artist or the owner. They do not belong to me. If I need to take them down, kindly let me know in the comments and I will do that. All images belong to the artist or the owner. I found them on Google. They do not belong to me. Right, thank you for joining me in this analysis of an African elegy. I hope that you join me again soon. Until next time, take care of yourself.